Welcome back to the end episode. Taekook's room, Taehyung fisted his husband's shirt and bit his lips to control the cries. He had cried enough. Overcooked, Jungkook drew comforting circles on his husband's back. Jungkook felt at fault for not finding Taehyung sooner. Taehyung smiled though his pain, and Jungkook felt so bad. Taehyung said they never got anything from Cook after my 18th birthday. I think he himself had enough of all that. Taehyung dug his face deeper into Jungkook's chest. Jiggy, so that's why you hate pity so much? Jungkook asked in a breaking voice. Taehyung nodded. Jungkook had much more to say to Taehyung than he had imagined. He just got another situation to clear. I wonder why he even bothered to send me a pussy that year. Taehyung sadly mocked. Jungkook's guilt was eating him up. He could not stay shut on this matter anymore. Jungkook spoke up. JK, because I was there. Taehyung got up. What do you mean by that? You were there. If Taehyung was getting it correct, then Jungkook was claiming to be his cook. JK, I was there when you were crying by the pond. I even brought Dad with me to meet you, but Jungkook lost his voice. Taehyung was confused and curious. But what? Jungkook sat up. JK, but then you started cursing me. I wanted to run to you, but Dad stopped me. Jungkook replied, tell me everything. Taehyung ordered. Jungkook, flashback Jungkook's past. Jungkook was standing near a tree by pond. He was sure that his bear would come here there. His intentions told him so. He dragged his dad with him because he wanted him to meet his bear. Jidong had also always been curious of this friend and his son and had met. Jungkook would go to his grandpa's house every day since he was 6 years old, but he wouldn't stay there. The old couple, Jungkook would run off to his secret playground, but he would never reveal where the secret playground was. And then he would only return after the sunset. Already Jidong even tried to send bodyguards with his son, but the curious kid would slip through. Jidong remembered the tantrum Jungkook threw when he had to move away. Jungkook even said that he could live on his own, but such men somehow made him agree with going with them. Taehyung told his son to go, bid farewell to his friend. Taehyung and Somin weren't even sure if this bear was actually a person or just an imaginary friend their son made. Jungkook returned home crying. He cried, JK, bear only had me and you are taking me away from him. Somin had asked him, did your bear say all this to you? Is he stopping you from going? Jungkook shook his head and cried more. He said, his eyes tell me he is hurt. Why can't I just stay here with him? Jungkook sent his parents for his friends for 5 years. He even sent his report card picture in the letter. He wanted to tell Bear that he was doing fine, and before the teenager knew, he already had a crush on his Bear, and his love never faded for the boy he first met crying. Looking at the dedication of his son, Jidong decided to move back to Seoul. Jungkook was his happiest kid on the earth at that moment. Jidong asked to meet his friend of his son. Jungkook agreed to bring his dad with him. They were hidden behind a tree near the pond, waiting for Bear to come. Jungkook wanted to surprise him, but when Bear arrived, Jungkook saw the tears in his eyes. He wanted to run to him and ask him what was wrong, but he held back. He didn't know why, but he held back, and then Bear started crushing Jungkook. Jungkook wanted to hug his Bear so tight, but he couldn't move from his position for some unknown reason. He never pitied Bear. He really wanted to be friends with the older. Jungkook sent him those presents all these years because he wanted his Bear to know that even if they were been apart, he saved from his pocket money. He would save the money for the whole year and would buy something for his beer. Cook even insisted on paying the shipping charges of every letter and presents. He was this mature and responsible just because of beer. You didn't understand right now why you cannot defeat him from the world. All yourself, you will need my support, Jaehyung said. Jungkook was just staring at his father. Jaehyung continued, why don't you grow up and be so invincible that no one can go against you, and then you will able to keep your beer safe from everything. Jungkook understood what his father meant. Flashback end. After that, I started helping David in his business to gain experience and knowledge, and Dad let me have my own company. Of his investors who had worked for me with me invested in my company. That's how JK got a high reputation so early on, Jungkook said. Tang was trying to absorb all new information. You mean to say you were cook? Then why didn't you ever contact me again? Tang was tearing up again. I got too busy with all of that. I was studying and working at the same time. I also wasn't sure if you will still want to hear from me. That day you seemed so angry, Jungkook replied. He was already crying. Since when did you know that I am here? Taehyung asked. Jungkook had a slight look of apology. He answered, ever since you came to for the interview, I just had to look at you once to recognize you. And looking at your profile, I knew I was not wrong. You don't know how hard it had been for me to not tell you that I was cooked. Taehyung still couldn't believe all the words that were entering his ear. It was too much information for him to take. And why didn't you contact me when you became successful, JK? Because you changed your address and I had no contact of yours. They and Dad knows about it too. What about Mom? Taehyung asked. Jungkook just nodded his head a few times as a reply. This back 5 years ago, Jungkook was 23 years old now. He had his own company which had been doing perfectly fine since it started 2 years ago. His father, old friend and some investors were happy to invest in. All of them knew that Jungkook would not disappoint them. They knew his potential. After running his company for 2 years, Jungkook realized one thing. It was really hard to manage his schedule on his own. He would miss it all up if his father's secretary never helped him arranging things. But Jungkook had also knew that he couldn't always pester his father's secretary, and so he decided to go one for himself. He was going to interview all the people who were interested in taking the job. His friend and colleague Hobie was sitting by his side. So you gonna choose a hot girl or something? Hobie asked with a smile. Jungkook shook his head. Should I tell your baby about you asking for a hot secretary? Hobie felt hurt. You can't do that to me. I'm your only friend. Jungkook glanced at that idiot sitting beside him. Jungkook said, you know, I wouldn't find girls attractive, and of course I will tell lies to Yoongi if you do something stupid. You know how much I love seeing him get mad at you. Hobie frowned. What's so entertaining? Just wait till you fall in love. This ice cube figure of yours will melt like the snow after winter over. Hobie was trying to be big. Jungkook smashed his friend's head. Stop this stupidity, Hobie interrupted Jungkook's voice immediately. Hard to begin, get your back straight, and the two changed from goofy to serious. And first, some of interviews weren't capable, they were confident, they were too clumsy, they were unsuitable for the job. Some were here just to waste everyone's time, but no one was even close to the secretary. Jungkook was hoping for they just wouldn't fit. Then the next one walked in. Honestly, Jungkook was done with this. He wanted to cancel it now. He just wanted to stop his headaches. But this new man in the room had something in his aura. It was attracting Jungkook. Jungkook felt like he was something he was very familiar with. Jungkook looked at him. His jaw dropped. My beer. Jungkook wanted to hug the man, but he couldn't. The situation wouldn't let him. Jungkook thumbs through the pages and got his hand on his beer's portfolio. Kim Taehyung saw this beer's real name is. Jungkook wanted to smile but didn't want to look like a fool. Jungkook read the whole portfolio and from the form too. Date of birth confirmed that the man in front of him was his beer. He saw him after so many years, but Bear seems like a different person. He wasn't smiling at as they did. He was just a business smile. He couldn't be relaxed around Jungkook like he used to be. In fact, we're sorry. Taehyung didn't even know that he was sitting in front of his cook. Taehyung was the perfect choice. He fit every criteria Jungkook had in his mind. JK, thank you, Mr. Kim. You can start working tomorrow, Jungkook said. Jungkook dismissed all the rest of those who were left. He was excited to see his beer after so many years, but then the happenings from Taehyung's 18th birthday played in his brain. But would Beer be happy to know that it's me? Jungkook asked himself. He chose his plans a little early. He thought of letting Taehyung everything, but then he wanted to keep it a secret. This last time word that Taehyung had said about him did affect him somewhere. Though Jungkook knew that his bear can't be angry with him, but he didn't want to take chance, so he would just let time and fate play their game. Because Jungkook didn't want to lose his. Taehyung's first day at work was great. Taehyung handled everything like those who have experience of decades, but it was only Taehyung's second job. Taehyung seems to have resigned from the previous one because of some private reasons, but Jungkook wouldn't let Taehyung resign from here. He was going to do everything he could to make Taehyung stay. He was not going to lose his beer again. Plus backend, Taehyung was still not done to getting by. Never tell me about this. Jungkook frowned a little. You would believe me if I simply came up to you and said that I am cook. You would resign. Then and there. I already had enough of not seeing you around. I couldn't afford you resigning. Taehyung asked his last question. Tell me something that only me and Cook know. Jungkook got up and left the room. He returned after some time and made with a friend. Taehyung, here, my evidence, Jungkook said as he handed Taehyung a photo frame. Taehyung took it and observed it carefully. It was the picture from the night Cook had stayed at his place. The little boy had pleaded Taehyung to take pictures together when he saw the good camera in his house. Taehyung had gladly taken their photos and given one of them to Cook. The photo he gave the younger was for them together. Cook was hugging him tightly and kissing his cheek while Taehyung was visibly blushing. Not wasting another second, Taehyung hugged Jungkook tightly. JK, now you believe me? Jungkook asked. Taehyung nodded and pulled Jungkook down on his mattress again. Jungkook was about to say something, but Taehyung captured his lips, and their lips started to slow dance together. This time Taehyung was the one who initiated the case. He was happy to know that his cook had never really left him alone. He was happy that he had married the man he loved for years. Of course, he felt bad that they had been pushing Jungkook because they loved someone else who turned out to be Jungkook. But all that mattered right now was that Jungkook had managed to make Taehyung fall in love with him twice, once when they were kids and didn't know each other's reality, and again when they were adults and their lips were dancing together, moving in perfect, making, mocking and kissing each other and adoringly. Jungkook shaking his arm around his husband's waist. Taehyung gripped Jungkook's hair and get more passionate, asking for. Jungkook was appealing and welcomed Taehyung's piece of lamb in his warm. They started with a lowly slow dance. They were getting deep. The sound of their love kiss was clearly ringing in every corner of the room. Taehyung rose from his spot without breaking the kiss and sat on his husband's lap, startling him. Jungkook felt getting needy. He blushed. Jackie was needy, but they were too lost in the kiss to think of anything else, and suddenly the kiss became hot and hard. Soon they knew they wanted, but Jungkook didn't want to do any mistakes, so Jungkook broke the kiss. Are you sure you wanted beer? Jungkook was gazing at Tae and Tae picked on Jungkook's swollen red lips. Tae, the only thing that could stop me from this was cook, but you are both the same persons. Do you not want it? Taehyung had started off, but his last sentence was more in a worried tone. He could stop if Jungkook wasn't ready yet. Then Jungkook smiled curtly. JK, so you really love me since then, huh? My bear. Jungkook was looking at Taehyung's swollen lip. They were bruised slightly. Taehyung faced the other side, blushing. Taehyung replied, that's why I let you enter my room. Not even my mom could enter there. You were the first one whom I invited in there. Jungkook couldn't believe that he was the only one his beer lit in his room. That moment, Jungkook knew just how special he was for Taehyung. Jungkook was looking at his cute husband, plus red as blood. JK beer. Taehyung knew it was a call for him. Taehyung looked at Jungkook's eyes that were shining brightly with love and adoration for him. Jungkook held Taehyung by his waist and jaw and clashed their lips together again and processed the act of love making. Bathroom, the two were seated in the tube. Taehyung's bags resting on Jungkook's chest. He was playing with the bubbles like a little child. Jungkook was adoring the scene in front of his eyes. He had wanted to be this close with Taehyung for so long, and now it was all happening. Jungkook couldn't be happier. Taehyung's neck, chest, and shoulder was decorated with red marks. Taehyung was smiling in content to all the attention Jungkook was giving him. Taehyung felt something ticklish near his thigh. He then, why are your hands down there? Taehyung frowned. JK, I am just massaging your muscles. It must be so. Jungkook kissed Taehyung's temple and continued massaging. Taehyung leaned in his head back on Jungkook's shoulder. Bedroom. Jungkook had already chosen the bedroom. He had Taehyung wear his clothes and was right now lying on the bed. Taehyung beside him. Taehyung seems lost. He was making imaginary doodles fingers on Jungkook's chest. JK, you okay, bear? Jungkook asked. Taehyung took a deep breath. Jungkook couldn't say if it was happiness, sadness, or whatever Taehyung was feeling. Taehyung looked at him in his eyes. This is all real, right? You are really here. You are my cook. You wouldn't disappear tomorrow morning, right? You will stay with me and not leave me in this time, right? I wouldn't wake up in my house alone without you near me, right? Jungkook, please say this is all true. Please say that you are mine. Taehyung had obvious insecurities. He was already in tears. He was afraid that this all might be nothing but then a dream. Lovely and sweet nightmare. He was afraid that he would wake up in his empty house alone. He had seen too many people leave him when he already had a weak heart. He was afraid that Jungkook might just be in his imagination. He needed confirmation for whatever happened. They needed someone to tell him that he wasn't dreaming. They want all this to be real, and the only one who can make him believe was Jungkook. Taehyung already had tears flowing out of his eyes. Jungkook hadn't responded to his question. He was afraid that this really was just a dream. Tae and Jungkook make up, them being happy together, making love to each other. Why does it have to be a dream? Taehyung wanted to hear it from Jungkook. He had to make sure that things are going right for him. Jungkook hugged him tight. This is not dream. I'm really here. And then you wake up tomorrow. I will be by your side. I will never leave you. Jungkook pressed his lips on those of Taehyung's. Their lips weren't moving. They were just connected to make the insecure man feel the reality. For they to know that all these things had happened are not just in his head but their reality. They I love you, Taehyung said and closed his eyes tight to not let the tear fall out anymore. Jungkook turned to face Taehyung and embraced him tightly. JK, I love you too. I love you so much. Jungkook told his husband. JK, I don't think too much. Sleep now. Jungkook assured Taehyung and they fall asleep, keeping each other close. The end. So everyone, how was it? I hope you enjoyed this story. I know I make you trouble a lot. I'm so sorry for that, but it is how this story is. Okay, so I will also prepare a special episode of this story so you can enjoy it. And see you again in the special episode, and then maybe a new Taekook story that is gonna be more fluff because I don't want to make you all sad anymore. Okay, so see you again. Bye bye.